Iran's happy to keep this going until oil hits $200 a barrel, which would be, which the ramifications of that are mind-boggling. You know, that'll have to be a whole nother episode to talk about what life for people like you and me, for people all over the world, will be like when if oil hits $200 a barrel.
As a man, I don't want to hear you say nothing about discounts, cheaper. Even if you do, like, I don't mind you getting a discount. I don't mind you preferring cheaper and things of that sort.
Would you rather be a side chick to an NBA player or wife to an average man?
Probably a side chick.
Why?
Because why not? Did you say an NBA player?
Yeah, a side chick to an NBA player?
It's an NBA player.
Or wife to an average man?
Nah.
I don't want to hear it as the lady. Like, I don't want to hear you got a problem with no prices or nothing. If I don't live my life that way, I don't want my man to express himself that way.
I am engaged, but not to my dream man. That's right, you heard me correct. I've actually dated the man of my dreams a few years back.
You could feel that way. You could organize it aside from me somewhere else. But as soon as I hear somebody say, that's too much, how much is it? Oh, that pisses me off. Just as a woman.
I'm not one to purport myself as some kind of expert on geopolitics. I'll leave that to be just Ibmore and Professor Zhang. But I will say that living in first world cities, and particularly Western first world cities, is very easy to forget how far we are removed from the inputs that make our first world lives very comfortable. And something like the price of oil doubling, tripling, quadrupling could dramatically change our lives. And I do believe that young ladies in the West particularly don't really have a true appreciation for how quickly all of this can change.
Well, Zane, we got to go there because it's the people like you and me that are watching this and thinking, okay, $200 sounds like a lot. What does that actually effectively mean for life?
I mean, it's never hit that mark. And when it goes up to 108, 117, it costs twice as much to fill your tank.
The 688.
Man, come on, man. It's all I got. You ain't giving me shit.
Man, you broke bum ass. You gonna put on this.
Get the out my car.
I don't give a yo broke ass.
You ain't got shit.
The price of food goes up. You talk about transport ships that take goods from here to there. They run on fuel that is more expensive. So the price of everything that goes from one part of the world to the other goes up.
If I get gas on pump 9, please?
Yes, $10 a gallon.
$10 a gallon?
Yes, sir.
The price of stocking shelves goes up. The price of electricity. There'll be shortages in poorer countries because there will be countries that can't afford to import oil or LNG. Transporting people, food, medicine, things like fertilizer for crops, getting humanitarian aid to places, everything.
The Iranian government wants to be paid for all the damages that the United States and Israel have done. So Strait of Hormuz will be closed for some time until some sort of an economic, financial solution is achieved. The days of everybody enjoying cheap oil and Iranians suffering under sanctions, those are over.
They weren't lying, guys. It's real. People out here taking pictures. They don't even believe it. $8. $8.21. You might as well get you a horse. Feed is me.
I hate when guys complain about prices and things and want to be cheaper. And you can feel that way. Just don't express it out loud near me because I don't do that. I like the finest of the finest. I pay top dollar for certain things in life, which is most of everything.
I know the troll's gonna come for me when I say this, but I don't have any kids yet. But mathematically, when I was doing the calculations, instead of having 5 kids by one man, it's more it's more financially beneficial for me to have 5 kids by 5 different men, especially in Texas, because there's a limit on how much child support you can get. So I'll make sure I have 5 different kids by 5 different men and make sure that they earn at least the max.
And I would want my man to as well. Honestly, again, personal preference thing, but I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to be around that shit. I don't want to see you piecing up with your homies to pay for shit. Even if you do do it somewhere where I never would have known. I never would have seen it, guessed it, nothing. Please.
What are some things you look for in a man?
A provider.
Okay. That's it.
Yes, a provider. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Financially, definitely.
This is a perfect example of a woman that's extremely far removed from the reality on the ground. I don't even know if she's following the news. She's saying that she wants the finest of the finest, but she's not even taking the money to buy her child a car seat. But she wants not just a man that's going to spend big money on her. She expects him to never do any cost cutting ever. That is just so far away from anything that's close to tethered to reality that it's almost worth not even mentioning in this video. But as much as I hate to say it, expensive oil might be the calibration that the modern dating landscape needs, especially in the West, because it really needs to be calibrated again.
Settling with you. I have girlfriends in marriages right now who have settled with the nice, safe, secure guy we weren't all that attracted to. We didn't really want that much. We didn't have any chemistry with. We had meh sex with because we had to. Because the guy we actually felt passion and chemistry for doesn't want us.
I've been a widow for a few decades. Yeah. And I'm looking for a man who's willing to be in a monogamous relationship with me while he lives in his own separate house.
Again, I'll say it because I don't think it's a joke. $200 a barrel oil, $150 a barrel, $125 a barrel oil is not going to be a joke for anybody. But going through some tough times for men might be helpful for us to recalibrate what the difference between want and need is. These women are talking about wants. They want a man that's going to make their whatever tingle. They want a man that is in a certain package. They're not talking about what they need yet. And that's where the reset comes in, because if you don't have that reset about the difference between the man that they want and the man that they need, you're raising young boys in a soft environment and you get boys like this.
You do if a girl hits you.
Oh, I know. I go ahead and go tell someone I do not hit back, especially girls.
Why?
Because they do not deserve that, and they are not like a punching bag or something.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
You know, it's just, I think, like, if you ask any of the girls, like, they'll tell you the same. And I think they're just labels. You know, that's why, like, I don't care what, you know, like, I'm dating someone. I'm like, I don't care what you identify as or what you call yourself, as long as you're happy being who you are. But no, but to be honest, it's like, that's why I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there.
Is it okay to hit a boy if he hits you first?
No.
So what would you do then?
I would go and I would tell him, hey, I don't like that, and same with the girl situation.
And also, like, they're like, you know, they kind of like wave you off. You're just like, oh, that, you know, hey girl, like, you know, it's not, you're not in here, like the rest of us are.
In a way, I feel a measure of sadness for this young boy, because he's being groomed for a world that pretty much is not going to exist when he's an adult. If things become more difficult, more harsh, more hand to mouth, he's going to have to confront a different kind of masculinity that is on display these days.
President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You are waiting for the U.S. military to invade, the ground troops?
Yes.
One of the good things about young boys participating in sports is that it's merciless. If the other player is better than you, they can beat you by as much as they like. And this young boy has not experienced any of that. He doesn't know what it's like to go up against some man that simply wants something from you, and you saying, no, it's not going to be enough. He's going to take it whether you fight or not. This boy is not prepared for that kind of world. But if that kind of world is coming, first of all, we don't have to worry about young boys or men that think like this, that are trying to confront their identity in a world where it's difficult to find some food to eat. But also, you're going to have the men that are willing to fight looking around and saying, what exactly am I fighting for, especially when it comes to young ladies?
I've been thinking about it. These can't be the bitches we were supposed to go to war for. That's all I'm saying. These can't be the same bitches I was supposed to work my whole life and dedicate my life to. These can't be the same bitches that they were telling us to do this for. It can't be. I'm telling you right now, when they told us we're supposed to work our ass off and build and go get this girl and take these girls on dates, they weren't talking about the hoes who twerking on Instagram. They couldn't have been. I know they weren't for a fact. They was not talking about these hoes who were getting I think they were talking about virgins. They were not talking about these who getting cracked by every I don't think they were talking about them. I'm being honest with y'all. I think the problem is y'all are choosing to do this for girls they were not talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing a job at the wrong company. You know what I'm saying? You flipping burgers, but you work at KFC. What are you doing? That's not what you're supposed to do here. You feel me? So when y'all around these hoes, gang, stop trying to provide and be a good You were not supposed to be a good to them hoes. You're supposed to be a good to the innocent girl.
But mathematically, when I was doing the calculations, instead of having 5 kids by 1 man, it's more it's more financially beneficial for me to have 5 kids by 5 different men.
All things considered, I think the world is about to become more flat than it's been in a very long time, at least for those of us in the West. And I think that young ladies that are practical about the way this world actually is are going to be practical in the way that they date. And so you're going to start hearing the American version of young ladies saying, you know what, I'm going to quote unquote settle. That might sound something like this.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm so tired of having to pay my own bills with my own money. I now see why some people get married and just stay. Because that 2-income household, baby, I see what y'all doing. I see how it works in y'all favor, because right now life is real ghetto. Life is very ghetto. The fact that I'm working and then I have to take that money to pay bills on my own. Like, some days it just hits harder. Some days I don't care. Today I'm just like, damn. Marriage, having a partner right now sounds pretty good to go 50-50 with. I'd be open to that right now.
She's still using the word partner, by the way, so she wants a deal that's more tethered to the equality 50-50. I have as much power as you, or maybe I have more power than you in the relationship. But young ladies in other parts of the world or in other cultures may have a more realistic way of looking at the world and survival, and may offer a man.
Talking about deep in the province where a lot of the houses are still made out of wood. The roofs are made out of tin. You know what I mean? The ground is just a dirt ground.
Right. Like the stuff you see on stock videos.
Right.
Yeah.
So for a lot of them who live in the actual, like the traditional Philippine provinces, you don't really care about money. You just would like to have a roof that's an actual roof.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, when it rains, you don't want to get wet.
Some running hot water.
Right. It's actually running water. That was funny when we first got together.
Right.
The Head and Shoulders commercial pissed her off.
Because you thought they were wasting water on
she didn't understand.
The Head and Shoulder advertisement pisses me off because I live in the province where we used to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, we like that water and we talk about. And then I saw the TV, an advertisement use a shower.
Yeah,
I don't know what a shower is.
So you didn't even know, wait a second. At what hold on. At what age did you find out what a shower was?
Probably when I met you.
Mm-hmm.
What? So 2020, 1920.
It's 2014.
2014.
What is when you found out what a shower was with a shower head? Because you all were bathing in buckets of water.
Yeah, buckets of water from either from rain or from the river.
One of the reasons why I'm such a staunch advocate of the Passport Bros movement, just guys getting up and moving around the world and getting a true recalibration of their actual value, is that guys can go different places and understand that there are young ladies in many parts of the world that would be extremely happy with the life he could give them. Many young ladies in the West have gotten used to the idea that they should not only be able to have opportunities to be physical with many different men, have children with those men, and then have a man who would not just date her, marry her, but even own a house and be monogamous while not even living in the same house with a woman who already has kids. Those expectations are off the charts. And maybe some more expensive oil will be a way of recalibrating those young ladies' thinking. But in other parts of the world, you have young ladies that are saying, man, I get to use a shower every night. How about the difference that you're going to get from a young lady that's appreciating the fact that you have raised her standard of living to the point where she can be envied by some of her other mates or some of her peers? I'm not saying that there aren't going to be any issues if you date a young lady from a different culture, but what I am saying is that there is a recalibration that is due for the guy who is getting up and making it happen, and he may not be the tallest guy, may not be the best looking guy, he may not be the richest guy, but he has his own apartment, he has his own car, he has his own stuff. In the past, there was the Netflix and chill thing where she'd come over your house and you guys relax and watch Netflix, and that was good enough. If these energy prices get crazy enough, it might be Netflix and air conditioning. Imagine if guys are getting $400, $500, $600 air conditioning bills for a single room apartment. But you know what? He's got the money to keep the air conditioner on all night. You think that that's not going to be something that's going to entice young ladies to want to spend time with you? You better believe it is. And so maybe many of these young ladies in the West are saying, I want this, I deserve this, I deserve this. But in the end, if these prices get out of hand, young ladies are going to get smart or they're going to get left behind. And I think maybe the young ladies in America that have these high expectations may be the last ones left at the station. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care.